Hello. Today we are going to look at Fahrenheit 451, Lesson 4, Analyzing Imagery and Point of View in an Informational Text. Today we will read Chapter 7 of Narrative of the Life of Frederick Douglass, an American Slave, analyze vocabulary and summarize the text, and analyze word choice and how it develops an author's point of view. You will need Chapter 7 from Narrative of the Life of Frederick Douglass, an American Slave by Frederick Douglass, the vocabulary log that is in Lesson 1 of Fahrenheit 451 from August 31st, the reading protocol, conversation stems, and discussion tracker handout that also appears in Lesson 1, the reading log from Lesson 1, the analyzing language handout, and the Douglass text glossary handout, which are all in today's posts. Practice reading grade-level text on your own, and analyzing an author's point of view is important for being successful in the cold read task. As you read informational text and learn what makes an author have a clear point of view in their writing, you are able to apply that to your own writing, which you will need to do on the culminating writing task and the research essay for the extension task. Frederick Douglass was a social reformer from the 1800s. He was a black man and a slave who escaped the South and became an abolitionist in the North. You are going to read the first section. Then you are going to read the assigned section and complete the following. You're going to put an asterisk, which is the Shift and the 8 key, near specific details about Douglass's experience that helps you understand his point of view. Then you are going to summarize the section in the margin. You're going to use insert and comma to do so. Your assignment is on the board, the section that you are assigned. Take out the glossary handout. You are going to use the information in the chart in the glossary handout to help you determine the meaning of words in context as you read. Follow the directions on the slide. Your new assignment is on the board. You're going to follow the directions on the slide. You're going to share your summary by sharing your Chapter 7 of Narrative of the Life of Frederick Douglass file in email with your new group members. See the board for your group members. Then you are going to record the summary for the other sections in the margins of your text, just as they did, by using the Insert Comment selection. Follow the directions on the slide. You're going to select one of the students that is in your group, their passage, to complete the following. Using the brush next to the letter A on the bar, you're going to highlight words and phrases from the passage that evoke imagery. Think, what patterns and contrasts do you see in the highlighted phrases? Then you will choose 3 words or phrases to complete your copy of the Analyzing Figurative Language handout for that phrase. You might want to consider the following questions as you work. What is similar about these words and phrases? Do they all relate to a similar topic? Do they all have a similar connotation? Do they all evoke a similar message? What is different about these words and phrases? Do they relate to different topics? Do they have different connotations? Do they evoke different images? Conflict can occur in a discussion under normal circumstances. Discussions can rapidly become arguments. And so that is why when we sit down to have a class discussion, it is important to have norms or class rules. I want you to take out the conversation protocol handout. Well, actually open it up from lesson 1. And I want you to follow the directions on the slide. You're going to review the conversation stems for verifying, clarifying, and challenging. As you do, I want you to think about the following. What norms do we need to promote a collegial discussion? Now, let's discuss. These are our discussion questions. What patterns or contrasts do you see in these phrases? What impact do these phrases have on the reader? And what is Douglass's point of view? Remember that we're going to use the conversation stems and the discussion tracker to monitor the discussion. Now I want you to follow the directions on the slide. From the Lesson 1 post on August 31st, I want you to respond to the following questions in your reading log. What is Douglass's point of view? How does Douglass use imagery to develop this point of view? What points did you respond to by clarifying, verifying, or challenging? How did you clarify, verify, or challenge these points? I'm going to give you about 6 minutes to complete this assignment. At the end of those 6 minutes, I will be checking your reading logs. And now, homework. You will need your vocabulary log and Chapter 7 of Narrative of the Life of Frederick Douglass. You are going to update the vocabulary log to include the following words from Narrative of the Life of Frederick Douglass, an American Slave. In fact, I would go ahead and type these words into your vocabulary log before the end of class. You're going to include abhor, detest, vindication, denunciation, and injurious. I will be checking your vocabulary logs, which are found in Lesson 1 from August 31st, tomorrow at the start of class. And now, we're finished with Lesson 4. So let's close this up. In this lesson, you learned that Douglass uses imagery to develop his point of view. You also practiced clarifying, verifying, and challenging ideas in a discussion. Congratulations!